Thanksgiving will be extra special for one local family as they celebrate with 4 newly adopted daughters. Aaron and Trina West of Linden recently adopted 4 sisters ranging in age from 1 to 5 years old. And because it's National Adoption Month, Bob Ennis from the Ennis Center for Children delivered a turkey and toys to the newly expanded West family. This will be a special Thanksgiving for the Wests, and Ennis says he's proud to be part of it.
I don't have to say anything, just look at them and look at the family. I mean, it's just a wonderful, wonderful thing.
These kids are beyond my dreams. We have waited for them forever.
And it's just been wonderful, Bob, and everything we've experienced has just been awesome, and we're so thankful.
The Wests officially adopted the 4 sisters not even 48 hours ago, making tomorrow their first holiday as a family.
Well, water troubles continue to plague the Vehicle City.
Tonight at 6, how a water hearing in Flint may help residents get a lower rate.
And problems continue to pile up for Takata airbags. Why employees are now saying the company concealed failed airbag tests.
Authorities call it the largest criminal industry in the country. What's being done to stop sex trafficking? We continue our series next. The FBI calls forced prostitution one of the largest criminal industries in the country. The agency has joined other groups in the fight against sex trafficking.
Together, they're making it increasingly difficult for traffickers to continue exploiting victims. Marley Hall has this third part in our series.
It's like your soul is screaming to get out of your body, to leave.
Hope Valor was a 10-year-old runaway when she was forced to have sex for money.
What did they do to you?
They pushed me into a bedroom door with a man who was in his 40s or 50s, about my dad's age, and told me that I had to do whatever he wanted.
The couple who took her in were sex traffickers. They were the first of many for Hope, who endured years of rape and abuse before finally breaking free. Nationwide, as many as 300,000 children are forced into the sex trade. Only about 1% are ever identified.
This is a tough crime to really assess.
Denver Police Sergeant Dan Steele works with the FBI's Innocence Lost initiative. A national raid last month netted 150 pimps and rescued 149 children. He says while prostitutes still advertise on the street, pimps have gone high-tech.
If you have access to a computer and the ability to travel, then you can make a lot more money online.
It's also where they're getting caught. Software called Traffic Jam is helping police find pimps by analyzing their online ads.
It enables us to track these pimps even when they're trying to throw off law enforcement.
Truckers are joining the fight too. Truck stops can be hubs for sex workers. Truckers Against Trafficking has trained more than 160,000 drivers to recognize and report signs of sex trafficking.
It's a grassroots movement. It's people who are standing up and saying, we can do something about this.
Valor says everyone can help bring this hidden epidemic to light.
It could be next door, and you may not have a clue, but if you know what to look for and how to handle the situation, that child's life is worth it.
Marley Hall, CBS News, Denver.
Authorities say if you see something that doesn't seem right, a child where they shouldn't be, or with an adult that you don't believe to be their parent or relative, you should say something and notify police.
It's an E. coli outbreak that will have you checking your fridge.
If you've shopped at Costco anytime soon, you'll want to hear this. Here's Brian.
David, thank you. If your travel plans still take you to the skies later this evening, good news is that only one major U.S. airport currently reporting delays. That's Minneapolis, and even there, it's only about a half an hour. Looking good across most of the country. We'll have your full Thanksgiving forecast after the break.
I think I'll be all right, actually. A little Thanksgiving roll of the dice here.
Got it right here.
Yeah, what the hell. Thanks. People are hitting the freeway in droves this week. Tonight at 6, we're going to update you on current traffic conditions as well as what people need to be on the lookout for over the next few days. Earlier this year, a judge said the city of Flint unlawfully raised its water rates, and that decision, challenged in court today, will have the latest on a case that will impact literally thousands of people. Plus,
hard to believe. What a sad thing.
River Roar could be no more.
It would be sad to lose that.
It would be very disappointing to see it go away.
Hi, I'm Gino Vici. What organizers need to make sure the show goes on. That's ahead.
All right, it's coming up new at the top of the hour. We'll see you then.
Certified most accurate by Weather Rate. Now your First Warn 5 forecast with Chief Meteorologist Brian Bachman.
All right, everyone, a very good Wednesday evening to you. Travel day, of course, upon us. And if you haven't hit the road just yet or are planning to maybe later on this evening, good news is that for at least the next several hours, things looking good if you're traveling around Michigan. And really good news, too, as we showed you before the break, if you're traveling by air to pretty much any airport around the country outside of Minneapolis. Looking pretty good in terms of air travel right now, too. It's after that, especially as we head into tomorrow, where I expect things to change pretty quickly after the midnight hour tonight. Here's a look at things tonight on the First Warn 5 Pinpoint Doppler Radar, live from MBS in 3D. Here's the good news. As we drive around the mid-Michigan roads tonight, no rain to be impacting your travels there. Again, maybe some wet spots where we do have some of that snow continuing to melt if it hasn't already completely done so in most locations. So just bear that in mind, but at least no active weather troubles relating to travel around the mid-Michigan area tonight. Heading outside real quick here, take a live look over Bay City. Beautiful evening getting underway with a temperature still at this hour of 50 degrees. Clouds beginning to increase a little bit, but a very comfortable, actually, south wind currently coming out at about 14 miles per hour. We're seeing more of the same as we head to the Midland area tonight, as we see a couple cars heading by on the outbound road out of town there. Currently at 50 degrees. That's Buttles, I believe. And 45 degrees is the current real feel when you factor in those winds out of the south at about 14 miles per hour. Last stop brings us to downtown Saginaw. Not too bad in the temperature department as well. 48 degrees. Traffic moving along nice and smoothly on 675, and of course that looks to be true across most of our roads around the region tonight. Jumping back out to the temperature maps, 47 still in Port Hope at this hour, and most of us, in fact, in the middle, if not upper 40s. Of course, the Tri-Cities is really the only exception at this point, still hanging on to 50 degrees. Pair of 46s for Houghton Lake and Oscoda, also 46 in the Thumb and Bad Axe tonight. And then kind of a decreasing by 1 degree from Owasso to Flint, Lapeer, ending up at about 44 degrees at this present time. And winds mostly out of the south. They have certainly increased. General range right now at about 5 to 15 miles per hour. They will be increasing and shifting into a more southwesterly and westerly direction tomorrow, and that's ultimately one factor that will help facilitate the increased rain that we expect to see. But the good news, too, is that for at least about another 24 to 36 hours, this mild air mass will also be riding in along with those rainier conditions. So I guess it's kind of a double-edged sword, if you will, before ultimately we dry out by the second half of the weekend. But this colder air mass you see back over the plains with temps in the 30s all the way down to the teens arrives and kind of changes the game once again. Fortunately, it's trapped behind this cold frontal boundary for the time being. This going to very slowly press eastward over the next 24 hours, tapping into some Gulf of Mexico moisture as it does so. So while it doesn't look all that impressive in terms of rainfall right now, the expectation is that as it arrives, it will strengthen and kind of increase in intensity. See that here on your First Warn 5 hour-by-hour forecast. Jumping out to midnight tonight, looks like we're dry up until then, especially along US 127, maybe even as far out as Gladwin and Midland. You might see a couple of early showers arriving. Those will be with us throughout really the entire day on Thanksgiving, mostly scattered in nature, so you might be able to dodge them depending on how things shape up when you head out the door if you're traveling tomorrow. But then as we head into tomorrow night and ultimately the early hours of Friday, and likely most of Friday too, the steadier rain that you see here breaking out going to be a pretty prominent fixture through the end of the week. So as for our overnight lows tonight, we'll briefly touch the low 40s and then actually start to rise overnight. South winds still at about 5 to 15 miles per hour, increasing to 10 to 20 tomorrow. But even with the rain, temps still expected to get into the low to mid 50s. We'll talk more about the Turkey Day travel forecast at 6, and then another cold slate of weather coming in for the second half of the holiday weekend.
Yeah.
Oh boy. All
the
right.
ups and downs continue.
It was beautiful
Yes,
today.
It was. It was.
Yeah.
Thank you, Brian. Problems continue to mount for Japanese airbag maker Takata. The Wall Street Journal reports Takata employees warned the company years ago about issues with its airbags. The Journal says documents show the workers believed Takata concealed airbag test failures and provided incorrect data to consumers. The news comes after several automakers announced they will no longer use Takata products. Takata is under fire for making defective airbags that can explode when inflated and send shrapnel flying.
Costco chicken salad is now linked to an E. coli outbreak. The Center for Disease Control says 19 people in California, Colorado, Missouri, Montana, Utah, Virginia, and Washington are sick. Health workers are still trying to figure out which ingredient in the chicken salad was contaminated. If you have any Costco chicken salad at home, check the label before you eat it. If it's item number 37719, you need to throw it away. Again, 37719. Costco has already pulled the chicken salad from the shelves. Remember Patti LaBelle superfan James Wright and his viral video of his pie review? Well, if you don't, take a listen.
Patty, Patty, Patty!
Well, thanks to Wright, pie sales are through the roof in the wake of the web sensation, and Patti LaBelle is giving him his just desserts. In an interview with BET, the singer says she is hosting Wright for Thanksgiving dinner this week. LaBelle says she is grateful for Wright's video and will be making some special dishes just for him. And I hope we get videos of his reaction to eating those special dishes.
Of course, because he can hit the high notes for sure.
Very entertaining.
Which day of the week you have your baby could determine its chance of survival.
Find out why researchers are saying your baby is more likely to live if it's born on a weekday.
Do you like them dipped in ketchup, covered in cheese, or slathered with chili and onions? This week's Top 5 on 5 is in search of the best French fries served in Genesee County as well as the Tri-Cities. Email your nominations or post them to our Facebook page.